Is your phone on?
I don't have it down here. Okay. Since we're going live now, again, we don't have you guys going through this yet. Okay. And we're hoping to go about 10, 15 minutes max right there. Okay.
I can already hear you.
Okay, we'll go live in a second here. Here we go. Good afternoon, EdCats, and those joining us from outside of Manhattan, Kansas.
We are really happy to be here with you this afternoon. I'm Angie Messer. I'm an instructor here at the College of Education. I co-teach the Foundations of Education course with James and a couple other courses throughout the semester as well. The middle level course, that's an online course, and then I teach a current issues course in the spring semester always. And I'm also a doctoral candidate with educational leadership here at the university.
Yeah, so as Angie said, we are representatives of the College of Education for KState University, right here in Manhattan, Kansas. She said my name, I'm James, and I'm also a doctoral candidate, and we co-teach a course called Foundations of Ed together.
Yeah, so frequently we are always seen together. Rarely are we seen separately. Most of the things and events that we are part of are always James and Angie. So we are always hanging out with one another. People always assume we know where each other is at all times as well. So it's really kind of cool. We've created a little sense of community in our classroom with that. Our students know they can reach out to either one of us to get information about the course and what's going on, because the course that we teach is an entry-level course for the college, and so we're helping to welcome the students into the College of Education here at KState University.
Yeah, it's a good thing we like each other, actually.
Yeah, and so I think you're going to tell them a little bit about the university.
Yeah. So about the university and the College of Ed here at KState. So the university is located in Manhattan, Kansas. We have a total student population of about 23,000 students currently. That's undergraduate and graduate. Last count, I think we have 8 or 9 colleges inside of the university. I could be off on that by 1 or 2. But the College of Ed is definitely, that's the diamond, we think, of the entire university. Our student population is about 2,000 students currently, undergraduate and graduate together, with lots of programs ranging from bachelor's of science all the way up to PhD level.
Yeah. We are one of the largest college in the state of Kansas with the graduating students to be educators. We're very proud of that. When we have our graduation ceremonies and the ceremonies that we have here on campus for our students, it's just really, really neat to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of ceremonies, actually, one that we're going to highlight today is something that the College of Ed, it's important to us. It's a big deal, and it's a tradition that we have called the Ringing of the Bluemont Bell. So part of today is we're going to recap that experience for you. So we just had one recently, actually about a week ago, and that ringing of the bell, it's become, again, a tradition with our students, and it's one of those ceremonies that you mentioned.
Yeah, so we had about over 150 students who joined us a little over a week ago to have the bell ring. This shirt is a shirt that they get. This is this year's shirt that they get. We have them all wear the shirt, and we take a picture, a big, large picture behind the bell that then we get printed and hang on the wall in the classroom that we teach in. And so Dean Mercer comes and she rings the bell here at the start. And there's a different ceremony that we do when students graduate that we'll speak about in a little bit. And so then that's when students ring the bell. But Dean Mercer kicks us off at the start of the school year to welcome our students and to kick off our great start to their educational careers.
Yeah, excellent. All right. So we have time. I know that we've got time for Q&A built into this today. So hopefully we'll get some questions from the Ethernet or the world outside of Manhattan, Kansas. But we've got a couple of really common ones that we get to sort of kick us off.
So one that I just want to share with. So the first time that I graduated from KState University from the College of Education was in 1994. So I graduated here with my bachelor's degree in secondary education in mathematics, and we did not ring the bell when I graduated back there. So that's one of the questions that I even had when we started this is, why do we ring the bell now?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. So, there's an origin story to the ringing of the bell, the ringing of the Bluemont Bell.
Yeah.
And actually, it starts a long, long time ago just with the history of the bell, I think. So, the bell has lived on this campus for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
And the bell itself is it's a special piece of Kansas State University history. Before that, even though, it was part of the Bluemont College.
Oh, yeah.
Is where the bell lived. We have a bell that lives right outside of our building. So the College of Education is housed in a building on Kansas State's campus called Bluemont Hall. And originally, Kansas State University was called Bluemont College before it was even KState,
Yeah,
as
right.
we know it today. And that bell was one, it's got a deep history. Way back in the 1800s, that bell was brought by horse and carriage to the then Bluemont College to be the college's bell. Schools have been known to have bells since there were one-room schoolhouses on the prairie. If you think Little House on the Prairie style, when there was just a single room and every grade of student or kid would come to that room, and the teacher, in the early morning, the teacher would ring that bell to let kids know that it was time to come to school. And kids would listen for the bell if they were in earshot of it, way out on the prairie, and they would come to the school building when the teacher rang that bell. So this has a little bit to do with the history of why we do it now.
Yeah.
But where it came from is about the middle of the 2020s, would that, no, the 20 teens. It was about 2015, 2016 time frame. The dean of our college, Dean Debbie Mercer, and a small,
Yeah.
we'll call it a steering group, I guess. They wanted to get faculty and staff together to sort of figure out how could our college position itself in a way that would let the world know what's important to us.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the beginning
For
of
EdCats.
EdCats. Yeah. So EdCats, the letters actually stand for something. If you visit our website, www.Kansas State University, I think /
College of
COE, right. If you Google College of
You'll
Education
find
at
us.
Kansas State, yeah, you will definitely find us. And it will tell you what EdCats, what the letters actually stand for. But it was at this gathering that the dean, Dean Debbie Mercer, and a small committee with her that they hosted, we came up with as a faculty. We came up with, this is what's important to us, and this is what we want to represent to the world, and how we want to represent ourselves going forward, and sort of connected to that group, or that time spent together. One thing that we came up with was we thought we needed something that allowed us to demonstrate to students the importance of education. And so part of that was we came up with this, what we call a bookend experience. The bookend experience was the ringing of the Bluemont Bell. So we do it twice in a student's time here on campus. And one of them is the one that we just did at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and we also kind of do it because we want to welcome the students to our College of Education here, and have a special event for them to feel like they're a part of our college right away when they get here on campus, and bring them into it. And so it's a really awesome opportunity for them to be involved, and they're very excited about it, and lots of energy was around the event that we had here recently.
Yeah. So another common question that we get is it's funny. We get asked. So if you picture a big bell in front of a building that's on sort of a frame that holds the bell. It's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
You can probably find it by Googling. Google Bluemont Bell, and I'm sure you'll see it online. There is literally a rope that we pull to ring that bell when the dean rings it to welcome students at the beginning of the year. She rings that bell by pulling this big rope. The bell is heavy, by the way.
Yeah, very heavy.
It's very heavy, but she will do her duty, and she'll pull that bell several times, actually. The question that we get, a really common one, is why doesn't the rope stay there? And I think it's because people would love to ring that bell.
Yeah. So one, we want to make sure that students are ringing the bell at the the special events that we create around the College of Education here at Kansas State University, and that's very one of our ceremonies and welcoming events, and then our culminating event that we have for students. But also, yeah, we just don't want a random person walking by getting to ring our bell. It's
right.
a very special event now. We have so many students who are just looking forward to it upon graduation, getting that opportunity for themselves then to ring it rather than having Dean Mercer ring it. And so it's a really awesome event that we do, and something they look forward to. And also, just to tell you real quick, one of the other things that you get as we talk about the other end of it that James is going to share is we have a book that has been illustrated by some of our students in the College of Education here. They help with the illustration that tells the story of the Bluemont Bell. And so when you graduate from our college, that's also a gift that we give you, as well as the shirt that James is wearing.
Yeah, it's super cool actually. The book is neat.
Yeah, so can you tell more about that, James, about them getting to ring the bell when they graduate?
Yeah. So we refer to it again as the bookend experience, and so if you think about bookends, right, there's two of them that hold the books together, and the first one is the welcoming ceremony where the dean rings the bell. Think Little House on the Prairie, again, one-room schoolhouse. The dean rings the bell to welcome students in and to welcome them to the profession, actually, of education. And then upon graduation, our students are stoked. They are so excited to get their opportunity to ring the bell. And this is significant because it's their opportunity to demonstrate sort of to the world and their family. We have students that will bring literally 20 to 30 people with them as family members to witness them ringing the bell. Some of them will ring the bell with them underneath it, big family together, actually pulling the rope. And when they ring that bell, this is them indicating to the world that I am now ready to receive students.
Yeah. And Dean Mercer, she helps to we provide a photographer, so you get a professional photographer picture too of you ringing the bell. And James and I made sure that the first time we posted this, that we rang the bell together, because neither one of us had that opportunity when we graduated, and we wanted to be able to ring the bell as well.
True.
So
That's true.
yeah, other questions that we might have that have come in.
Might talk briefly about, if you know much about the programs we have for MAT or the online classes besides our brick and mortar classes.
Okay, yeah. So one question we have is about our online courses in MAT, and I know James has worked with that. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the MAT, there are two programs at
Yeah.
Kansas State University College of Education that have really just exploded, actually. And it's not, I say they just exploded, but they haven't really just exploded. We've been working on these programs literally for years, since the early teens of the 2020s, really even earlier than that. So our graduate level courses have they're just massive now, and they're excellent at doing what they do, because what we've figured out is the MAT, someone referenced, that stands for Masters of Arts in Teaching, and it is a 1-year fully online program. You're still allowed to come to graduation. We encourage, in fact, we have a big group of MAT graduates now each semester, or each year, because it's a 1-year program. And what's so exciting about the MAT is well, first of all, you get to do this in 1 year. It's designed for those who have maybe they have a desire to be in education, but they do not have an undergraduate degree in education. Right. So in just 1 year, they can become a fully licensed credentialed teacher for public or private PK through 12 schooling. Yeah. So 1 year, very affordable, actually. I don't know the number right off the top of my head, but I know each time I've heard it, I'm astounded by the cost, because it's super affordable. And then you're ready to teach.
Yeah, and our numbers in the program just continue to grow every semester. It's amazing how many students that are in that, and we have other online courses that we offer as well. Even at the undergraduate level, you can get your certification for like elementary education. Taking online courses, and so we're building the number of courses that we have for the secondary education module as well. So just so many courses that we offer in different modalities, whether you want to join us here on this beautiful campus nestled in the Flint Hills, or you want to take courses online, or a combination of both. We offer all of those things here.
Yeah.
So one more question. What are some other activities that the college does to connect to new students, faculty, and others in the College of Education?
Oh, great question.
So a question that we just got was, what are some other activities that we do here at the College of Education to connect with new students and families as they're coming here to Kansas State University?
So I'll tell you, that's a great question, and I think it's one that we're uniquely qualified to answer, because we're part of that, actually. So things that we do to connect with new students, we'll start there. Things that we do to connect with new students. This is tricky, and the reason why. So remember, we talked about that steering committee that our dean Dean Mercer put together years ago to figure out what do we really stand for and how do we want to present our great college of education to the world. One of the things that we tried to figure out there too is how do we deepen the impact that we're having with students immediately. Most colleges, not just the College of Education, and this is I think universally, this is probably nationally, they would tell you that when a student is part of their college, in the beginning of their college career with a college, you typically take classes that are called Gen Ed courses. They're your prerequisites and such that you take before you get into their professional program. So one thing that the College of Ed has really focused on is how do we bring our students into the fold, so to speak, immediately? How do we get them into the College of Education family right away, and to where we don't want our students to feel like they're not part of a family, part of something important right away. So they're not taking Gen Ed classes for 2 years and then they get into the College of Ed. They're with us, part of the family immediately, and that starts with our course.
Yeah, because that was the shift that happened. Our course actually used to be taught later in a student's educational path in their Gen Ed courses, and now that course has been moved to their freshman level. We want to greet them as soon as they get here and get them involved into our college. And so other things that we do is like we have very many different clubs, organizations. We co-sponsor the Educational Council, that organization. We also have KNEA. We have, I can't even list them all. We have so many. We have so many different organizations that students can be a part of and get involved in. Then we have students who become educational ambassadors for us so that they get a chance to represent our college and greet students as they come. We provide tours as we have families come to us to visit. We have tours that we show them around. Frequently they stop by our class and say hi, which we're super excited to greet them. We also have at the beginning of a semester, the school year, we have a day where we offer incoming freshmen to come in and meet some of the faculty they're going to see on their first day of classes to hopefully get rid of some of the jitters they might have about coming here, and they know which faces to look for when they come to those classes when the classes start. So the Friday before the semester begins, we have this like welcome event with incoming students that want to attend that are already here on campus with us, and I think that just helps because they know where to go and who to look for and what rooms to find.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So you just made me think. One big thing that we do that I think is maybe not touted enough is our advisors are unbelievable. I actually think they're unparalleled. I think they're unmatched. They're awesome. I could name them for you, but that might embarrass them. But people like Kelly and Sandra and Michelle, and I am naming them now, and TJ and Todd, and the people that work in Dr. Roger Schiefrich's, Assistant Dean Roger Schiefrich's office are just unmatched. They're incredible, and there's a reason why you know this, or why we know this, is our students talk about the impact of them constantly. And if there is one person, if we were to send out a questionnaire that said, hey, who do you want from the college to be at that bell ringing when you ring the bell when you graduate, it would be their advisor. They want, there's always faculty members that they connect with, always, but universally they connect like a family member with their advisor.
And out of that office too, we have Marcus Kidd, who's there, that helps bring a ton of energy. If you ever had the opportunity to meet him, he brings a ton of energy to all the situations and the events that we host, and just trying to help us continue to build just the family feeling that we have going on here in the College of Education.
And I understand we have another question. Okay, all right.
So
have we hit everything?
I think so.
With the bell ringing?
I think so. There's we are just so excited to have the students here. We are so excited for all these opportunities that we have, and have been so happy to be here with you this afternoon. And we're looking forward to having more of these events regularly, where we're going to be live, telling you more about our College of Education here at KState University, answering more questions, and letting you know what it is, the great things that we're doing here. Yeah, definitely come and join us. This is a place, if you were to visit us, you would see the excitement is genuine, and the family is genuine. Well, again, thanks for joining us, and go Cats. Go Cats.